yeah. Sunset Rewind. Nirvana.
What's with the Nirvana, Coach?
Well, they are from Seattle, and our special guest today, Julius Gillick, the Sultan of Seattle of the Edison Chargers, is joining us today. Thank you for being here, Julius.
Pleasure to be here. I've been wanting to for a while.
Yeah, great to have you in the studio. The Chargers rolling, go to 4-0 in league, and took on the Fountain Valley Barons in the annual Bell game, and
a couple rival games this weekend, actually.
Yeah, some great rival games, and the Chargers 56-7, I believe, the final.
Yeah, well, we're going to break that game down.
Yeah, let's take a look at the
Thanks, Jules,
highlights.
for coming in, and let's go ahead and pull up the screen, please, Murph. So early on, Carson Schmidt and Jack Newton, who had a monster game. By the way, Noah Banua was out. I don't know if that was an injury thing or what happened, but they started Lucas Alexander, and you know, it's tough for anybody to go against the Edison defense, but when you're a backup quarterback, it's just, you know, it's going to be tough. And so
Lucas is a good quarterback too, but Edison is just tenacious on
Well, the problem for Edison
their
was
defense.
For Fountain Valley is now they lose their receiver, because Lucas was having a really good year as a receiver. So now you lose him, he has to play quarterback. But watch your boy, Kyle Huang. Remember him talking about the sidelines about
number
Morrissey
24
and Devo?
And his dad's a coach.
Watch him take the outside linebacker all the way into the end zone, just crushing him.
Nice job,
Go Kyle, getting in there. So Mr. Hansen, 7-0 early on for the Chargers. More defense, Mr. Hansen, this guy. Now, I don't know if this was a face mask or not. I'm going to let you guys make the call at home, but it certainly looks like one.
Oh, wow.
But he's a vicious guy. Well, Julius, do you go against him a lot of practice? I mean, what's that like when you have that collision?
It is, I'm a pretty big guy, and I don't think I've ever won a rep going head to head. He is a different breed.
Is it harder going against your own defense at practice than in a lot of games?
So much. It's like an off day on Friday. That sounds bad to say, but
I get it. Trust me.
It's a lot nicer. I mean, Tanner Muir, he's really great too. That was my closest comparison. He's a great linebacker, but yeah, Hoy is special.
Awesome.
Got a lot of good linebackers.
All right, Mason
Lopez
York.
is great too.
Yeah, and Newton really stepped up since he came back in from his transfer sit out whatever period it was.
Yeah. They're gonna Thompson, the freshman, showing off his arm. That's a great arm for a freshman. Mason York, no flip this time, Mason. I wonder what happened with that. I guess
still got in trouble for throwing the ball.
You're right. He tossed it after that.
Yeah, that was a contention in the locker room.
Mason
Grady.
All right, well it's a coachable moment. So Edison was getting it done on offense. They're getting it done in defense, but then special teams. Jake Mentor is going to field this. He's got two guys in his face, but takes it anyway. Turns out to be a good decision. He's going to bust it to the outside, down the sideline. Punter can't get him, and early on, Edison is all over. And there's the bell, as a matter of fact. That's not the actual trophy, obviously, but
punt returns are so difficult too. That's like the toughest thing to do is to concentrate on that ball with guys running down at you, ready to take your head off.
Yep. So Fountain Valley wouldn't go away. Lucas Alexander is going to throw a nice ball to Nolan Oliveras down the far sidelines. Going to bring it in. It's going to set him up into the red zone. So, you know, rival game. They're giving all they can. Then Lucas is going to take the ball, and he's in a one-on-one with Mr. Hansen. This doesn't happen that often, but puts a move on Mr. Hansen. Attaboy, Lucas. He gets in there, pulls his team within 14. Unfortunately for Fountain Valley, that's about as close as it would get. One of the reasons why. Well, no, they would play a little defense still. Gavin Wang's going to do a nice job reading the quarterback, pulling it. Gets the stop on first down, so it sets up second down. And here's a name I call all the time when I break down Fountain Valley. Hayden Espinoza. He has to cover some of the best receivers in the county. Comes over a cover, stops them, but you got something for 3 downs. And Edison would get in tight. Jack Newton out of the backfield, fullback in the flat, play action. That's just a tough route to cover. And, at that point, Edison would go up 28-7 and really kind of start to pull away. More defense, Jared Schnorr. By the way, this guy's a lock for county or for league honors. He's going to be getting county honors. Every game he's getting picks. He's had some pick sixes. He's going to make another big play here in a second. Gets the interception there. Turns away a scoring opportunity for Fountain Valley. And then my man Julius, the soul from Seattle. Now watch the subtleties of this. This is supposed to go up the middle, right? He sees 2 defenders closing in, so he's just going to shift a little bit to the next gap to the inside, and he's gone. I mean, you don't see that in real time, but when you break a game down, one of the things that makes a back so good is their vision. And I know you're a physical runner, a powerful runner, but you see those little nuances, and you can make adjustments on the fly. So at that point, it's 35-7. Edison is in charge.
All academic now, as they say.
Well, watch Jared Schnorr. Watch him sneak in here. He's coming off the edge.
Uh-oh.
As he closes it, he gets sack and a strip. Jack Newton had a monster game.
Yes, he
Gonna
did.
pick it up, scoop, and score. And 42-7 at this point. It's just now they're just pulling away. A couple more highlights for Edison, though. Cooper Dobbs, another one of their outstanding receivers. And again, Thompson, a freshman. Look at that ball.
Thompson's throws a good ball, and he's got poise. He just kind of steps up in the pocket. He doesn't really panic or anything.
What's he like at practice? I mean, is he a freshman? I can remember being a freshman on varsity or in high school, and the varsity guys seemed like men to me. Like I couldn't even imagine practicing with them. But he's your quarterback. He's doing well.
Yeah, he acts nothing like any freshman I've ever seen. He's a very mature kid. Like I'll give him that. I don't really know how to describe it. He just acts like he's like.
And in the huddle, he's calm, collected, and controlled.
Acts like he's been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, we came in his first start against Huntington Beach. You know, I was trying to be like super nice because I remember my first start freshman year, and I was like freaking out, and I'm just like, hey, you know, like you're gonna do great.
So you guys were lifting him up, giving him confidence,
and he was just like, I don't need this.
I got this.
I'm good.
Thanks, Julius. I got this.
Yeah, we're gonna win. And he came out there, dude. I mean, he did great that game too. He's been doing great.
He's been doing great every game. For sure. I'm telling you, I'm really impressed. So Daniel Sonnenberg, you know him. We interviewed him at Battle of the Beach. That's the guy who squats like 500 pounds. Late in the game's going to break it. Just can't quite get in there. That's okay because a couple plays later, they'll feed him all the way into the end zone. Sonnenberg's going to get in there.
All right, Sonnenberg with the score there. Good to see him get in the end zone.
Daniel's actually a really great running back, and I fully believe that at probably half the schools in this county, more than that, he would be a feature running back. He's
really got great leverage. He's got those strong legs. I mean, you guys have a nice little 1-2 punch in the backfield there.
For sure. Yeah,
so you guys went on to win 56-7.
Yeah, you guys picked up a big win over Fountain Valley, 56-7. What made it look so easy out there today for you guys?
Man, I mean, I think it just goes into preparation, right? We had a good week of practice, good long week of practice, watched our film, so we felt prepared. We felt like we knew what they were going to do before they did it. So I would say that for sure.
How do you feel about your performance, man? You threw 3 touchdowns.
Man, I can always improve, but you know, it feels great to get 3 touchdowns, hit a couple deep balls. It's awesome. I'm gonna be happy with my performance.
How do you feel about your team going into the last game of the season against Los Alamitos?
I'm confident. Los Al's a good team, but you know, I think we got what it takes. I really do. We've been preparing well, and I think it's gonna be a good game.
Talk about your O-line, man. They have some pretty good protection today.
Pretty good. I mean, unreal protection. I haven't got sacked once in 3 games, I don't think. I mean, barely hit. They're great. They're great individual players, and they work even better as a unit. So I love those guys, man.
Nice, man. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
So sticker time, Coach.
All right. So we have to
we have an apology
make
for
an
Edison.
edit for Edison last week. We accidentally skipped over them last week. So I'll let you give your Edison sticker for last week's game.
So last week in the Harbor game, Jake Mentor had a strip. He blocked that field goal at the end, which would have tied it up, which was a great game. I mean, we're kind of going back in time right now, but Mentor, we dropped the ball. That we got distracted. But this is your sticker for last week against Harbor, blocking that field goal. That was huge.
And I'm going to go with the guy who ended up, it's a team game, but his foot made the difference in the game. Nico Bam Bam Bammer with that field goal last week against the Sailors, 31-28. And really nice guy. Spoke to him on the sideline.
Yep.
That guy is like, he's like a kicker. Like he's always like, if you're ever at an Edison game, like, you know, everybody's on the sideline. He's always over at that net working on something, you know, working on this craft. I mean, he's an outstanding kicker, and all the hard work he's put in really shows. So, Nico Bammer, you get my helmet sticker for last week. Congratulations,
Good job,
man.
Nico. And then for this week, I mean, Jared Schnorr had an interception. He had the strip, caused the fumble and the touchdown. This was an easy one, Jared Schnorr.
You know what? I'm going to go with the freshman, Sam Thompson. He's just Mr. Consistent. He threw for 3 touchdowns, and he's great at just – he does what Grady asks him to do. He doesn't try to do too much, and he's poised. He steps up in the pocket. You know, he does what he's told to do. I like how he tries to get defenses on their heels. So you ever notice pre-snap, he's running up, checking in with the linemen and doing all that stuff, and it's working. They just keep rolling. I know, you know, Save's going to come back, and Edison's going to still be firing on all cylinders, but Sam Thompson is doing a great job for the Chargers. So congratulations, Sam.
Fountain Valley?
Yeah, who you got for them?
I asked Julius about the Fountain Valley game and who impressed you on their team, and he said a guy named C.J. Grover, a defensive back, about 3 or 4 teams, they had some nice collisions. And he said every time CJ squared up against him, gave him all he could handle, and he was really impressed with the play of CJ. So, CJ, I'm giving you a sticker on behalf of Julius for calling you out by name. We're running out of spots on this helmet, by the way. All right.
I'm going to go with number 7, Lucas Alexander. The guy just, he steps in. We're not quite sure what happened with Noah. We'll have to find out more about that. But Lucas Alexander, you showed that highlight where he had that little RPO or whatever. Where
a little move on Mr. Hansen. That's hard to do.
Hoy Hansen,
not many people can do that. Julius can't.
Yeah. I mean, if you can get in the end zone against the Edison defense, that's impressive, but especially in a one-on-one matchup with Hoy Hansen. So I'm going to have to go with Lucas Alexander.
Good job,
Congratulations.
Lucas. Taryn, did you want to say something?
So what happened with Noah Banua was he actually took a helmet to the knee in the previous game against Huntington Beach.
Okay.
And it looked like it was just swelling and whatnot. And it was nothing.
You could see the swelling?
That's what Coach Gutierrez said.
Okay. All right.
And it looked like it was nothing like broken, but I guess it might have been a little bit more serious than it originally intended to be. So
well, resting him against Edison is not a bad decision. Let's just give it one more week, just to be sure. All right, so moving on.
Yeah.
Let's grab those helmets.
Who's up next, Coach?
Los Al was at Huntington Beach, Uncle Richie's team. All right, so early on, Los Al kind of doing what they've been doing all season long. Lenny Ibarra, one of their 3 outstanding running backs, is going to take it. He's got an offensive line that's as good as they get. Up the middle, 7-0, Los Alamitos. Then later in the first quarter, Hayden Allegan, who's having an outstanding year, is going to get 3 outstanding blocks from the offensive line. 1, 2, 3. And the rest is all Hayden. He's got that long reach, but he's got speed too. So this guy's a dual threat. He can hurt you a couple different ways.
That's great play design by Los Al as well.
Little Trey Q. They're going to show Trey. Alonzo's going to see the defensive line crash down,
There's
so he
pullers.
pulls it. Yep. I think that's a tough play to defend as a backer because you read the lineman, but that's why they call it RPO. So 21-0 Los Al. Looks like they're about to pull away. But then Troy Foster, Brady Esmond, another freshman quarterback who's having a very solid year, is going to find him down the sideline. So Huntington Beach trying to stick around. They keep working all the way down the field. And then again, Troy Foster had a really good night. It's going to look like he's going to block the linebacker and then breaks to the corner. They'd get it. So it's 21-7. They're hanging
and
in
Edmonds
there.
able to thread the needle there in double coverage as well.
And how about this? Jonah, boy, I hope I'm saying this right, Armendariz.
Armendariz.
Yeah, if I get it wrong, I apologize.
You got that. Sounds right.
Yeah, all right. Onside kick. Oh! They get it. So down 14. Coach Brown staying aggressive. Look how fired up the sideline is. And then from there, Edmonds, the freshman, would give it to, or he'd find Micarilla down the sideline. Loses
A little
the backer.
wheel route there.
Yep. Nice job reaching up and grabbing it at the high point. So again, they're down near the red zone. And then Troy Foster is going to run to the corner, a little out route, puts it right where it needs to be. And now it's 21-14, and a lot of people didn't see this coming. And, they're in it. But the problem is this Los Al offense is so good. Hayden Allegan again, just going to fade, uses that height, like one-handed.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's
What a
an
catch.
athlete.
Wow.
He's a dude, yeah, right? So Los Al get the touchdown, get a little breathing room, and then Anthony League's just going to bully his way in there.
You're getting a little early film work here, Julius.
Oh, yeah, right? You can scout right now.
Yeah.
It's the defense he's got to worry about. And then off the edge, these are 2 legit linebackers. Jackson Ragoose and Misa Zachariah. They're going to come off the edge. One player is going to force the fumble, and Ragoose scoop and score.
Just like
And,
that.
it's got to be frustrating for Huntington because you work so hard to get back into it, and just a couple plays later because of turnovers, it's getting away from you. And then Komar Motuti going to Oregon, another outstanding linebacker. It's going to create another turnover. This time he's going to strip it from Edmonds, the quarterback. Foster Slaughter on the spot. It's going to fall on it. So, frustrating for Huntington because they were playing so well there in this game, but turnovers can really swing the momentum. And then Anthony Leak from there. Just going to do some
nice
shifting, juke moves.
Jump step there.
Inside to the outside. And Los Al now starting to pour it on. At this point, it was 49-14. Now you're almost thinking running clock. And then more Los Al. Alonzo Esparza is going to pull it again. That's the thing about Alonzo. He's got a great arm, but he's shifty when he gets the ball as a running back. So it's
Yeah, you talk about dual threat quarterbacks. He
It's
really
a lot
is
to
one.
defend with Los Al. And then late in the
Yeah.
game, now they've got some of the backups in. Colin Creason, like Alonso's going to pull it, makes a good decision. And so Los Al going to win. It was pretty much a blowout, 63-14. Huntington hung around early on, made it interesting, but in the end, Los Al was able to impose their will and get the win.
Hi, I'm Emma Burns, and we're here with Anthony League. So tonight you ran for 2 touchdowns, but you were pretty much running over people the whole game. How did that feel?
It felt exciting because I haven't ran a lot of people over this season, so it kind of felt exciting and added towards my energy throughout the rest of the game.
How do you think you guys did in tonight's game?
Oh, great team win. Everybody contributed, got the 2s in, which always makes me feel happy, and everybody got to shine a little bit.
Now, I know you said that everybody contributed, but is there one player who stood out to you tonight?
Nobody. Everybody stood out to me.
Alrighty, thank you. And what do you think of the blue team?
I don't know what to think of it. It's really the same for me. It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't matter to you, just as long as you guys play good. Alright, thank you.
Thank you.
So you got stickers. Go ahead and start with Huntington first.
Oh, that was easy. Troy Foster had 2 touchdown receptions, some big catches. He kept his team in the game early, but I thought he had a really good game. So this one's for can't do it by Tony Gonzalez.
Yeah, you don't want to smudge the autograph there. I'm going to go with another receiver for Huntington.
Yeah,
Beach who
Tony
stepped
Gonzalez
up.
signed that.
Nico Lopez
Nico Lopez
had a good game for the Oilers. Stepped up, had some catches. So I'm going to go with Nico Lopez for the Oilers. Congratulations, Nico. What you got for Los Al?
This guy's really impressing me week after week. Hayden Elegon just keeps making plays. He's got those long arms that reach. That was pretty easy. I'm going to go. And it's hard with Los Al because so many people score. I mean, you could go 20 different directions, but I got to pick someone. He got 2 touchdowns, so this one's for Hayden.
And that catch, oh my
Oh,
gosh.
yeah, it was incredible.
Kind of on his knees, gets his arm up, right? So
I'm going to have to
I
go
agree.
with Alonzo Sparza. He just does everything. I mean, he's running, he's passing, and he's a leader. He's a field general, and it doesn't get old. He just every week he just keeps stepping up his game, and just doing whatever he can. It's going to be interesting to see them in the playoffs. And Sparza, man, what a quarterback, great leader, and so he gets my helmet sticker for the week.
getting it done. All right. So Josiah Lamarquet texted me at midnight after the Battle of the Bay. Says, hey, can me and Fiegel come in on Sunday to do the show with you? We said, absolutely. I said, Julius is going to be in here, but if you guys want to break down the game, he hasn't shown up yet. And, when practice starts, it starts. So, Josiah, we love you. You can come in anytime you want, but the game has started, and maybe you'll make it for Fan Zone. So, let's move on to really the game of the night.
What a game.
It was, I just got to find it. Okay. So, this was the Battle of the Bay. This is one of the big rivals. Should we give our shout-outs real quick before we get into this?
I mean, there's a lot of shout-outs. I mean, we can say them for the Fan Zone. We can do them now, whatever you want to do.
Just real quick, the Giuliano family was nice enough to invite us to their pregame meal on Thursday. Had a wonderful time.
Giuliano's Deli. I highly suggest that you go there. Amazing place.
He, his wife, we talked to Penny's parents. We talked to Max Nashed.
Mr. and Mrs. Nashed, Mr. and Mrs. Penny.
The only
Mrs.
problem
Giuliano.
driving down, we had picked Newport that week, and I'm thinking, man, all these players are going to do that. I hope they don't take it too personal.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were great. And then the following night, Danoon's family invited us over for a little pregame festivities.
And then we also stopped by the Ketchum house. Mr. and Mrs. Ketchum were nice enough to have us over.
I've been to a lot of tailgates. SC, UCLA,
That's
I've been
great.
to Super Bowl. The atmosphere for this game, as far as the fans and the excitement, was as good as anything
Dr.
I've
Stephen
ever seen.
Jennings.
Yeah, so, let's get
Great
into
talking
it.
with him.
We can talk about this on the Fan Zone. So early on, this game was defensive. Christian Brooks is going to do a nice job scraping across, filling, putting a shot on my man, McJagger Blowcamp.
Brooks is the dude.
He's the dude, but you know what? Harbor's got some dudes too. Cam Danoon, watch, they're going to try to scoop him backside. He's going to use that arm under rip, gets across the guard's face, makes a tackle in the backfield. So, it was defensive. It was like 2 heavyweight fighters going after one another, but being cautious. So, ultimately, in the first quarter, Josiah Lamarquet is going to catch a little slant. Now, watch the defensive back. He's going to come up and make a great hit. Problem is,
Doesn't
it's
wrap
on his
up.
own teammate. So he takes out the corner. Josiah's gone. Right? I mean, it's a good hit, just the wrong guy. So look at Josiah's dance. I wish he was in here. I want to ask about that goofy dance he does. Anyway, so the crowd is rocking. I mean, I had to get a shot of that. It was pretty cool.
Same start as last year, by the way, too.
Well,
Right, score-wise, yeah. I'll let you get to that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
CDM's still playing good defense, so Brett Klemmer's going to come off the edge, make a play in the backfield, slow Blowkamp down, allows the rest of his teammates to shut down Harbor, but they'd have to punt, so they'd get the ball really inside their own goal line, and Garrett Marlin is going to strip a net, and then it's going to be covered by Tony Glenn. And so now already up 7-0, they're going to have first and goal from the red zone, so great opportunity for Harbor, and they're not going to blow it. Cade Fiegel is going to run a route right behind the two slant receivers, little out route, catches it, and just like last year, like you said, it's 14-0 Harbor.
Yeah.
You know, last year when they went up 14-0, you kind of felt like CDM was going to come back. Tonight, at this point, it felt a little different.
Yeah. It seemed like Newport was like more dominant this year.
Well, they were early on, but, you know, that just shows you how much we don't know because Harbor, our CDM would come right back.
CDM comes roaring back.
One of the Twin Towers, Zach Giuliano is going to get behind the defender, corner of end zone, wide open. Just uses that reach. So now just like that, it's 14-7. So CDM settling down, getting back into it. And then right before half, it's 3rd and 9, there's only about 15 seconds left. The other Twin Tower, Sebastian Boydell, he's going to get behind the defense. And it's tough to cover when the quarterback's scrambling, looking. Brings it in, so...
is he in bounds there?
Well, that's what number 4 is trying to argue if you see with the ref. But,
Julius, that's a good observation there, man.
You got two refs right there. I don't know, but... Was he in?
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Was Mason in on that one against Harvard?
Murphy was right. Murphy's right there. You can see. I'm pointing to him. You can see him in that black shirt right there.
Really?
That's
That's
Murphy.
you and me right there, Kev. Yeah, he was in. It was a good catch.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
No,
Well,
we got a picture of Mason just during that game, like fully catching the ball, and both his feet are just wide out of bounds.
Oh, you got to frame that and just
Yeah.
okay. That was last week. But anyway, so CDM ties it up, and you know they've got some fans too. They brought it was rocking. This is what the atmosphere was like the whole night. I kept telling people all week, go to this game even if you're not a fan of either team, just to experience it.
Oh, it's awesome.
So second half, CDM's coming out. Now they're going to try to pound the rock a little bit. Colin Pennig is a nice rush, 5, 10, 15 yards. Good job by the offensive line. And anytime you can run the ball, of course, that's going to set up play action. And from there, Dorsett Stecker is going to run a little seam route. Gets right behind the defender. Caleb throws a dart right on the money.
Boom.
So all of a sudden, it's 2014 CDM. Now, they missed the PAT, but I talked to Danoon after the game. He actually got a hand on the ball. So at the time, I thought, oh, no, they missed it. But they actually got a hand on it and redirected it. So it goes down as a miss, but CDM had it blocked by Harbor. But again, at that point, they've got the lead. It's the second half, and they just scored 20 straight. So, Taryn, let me ask you this as a Harbor fan. Were you getting a little nervous at that point?
No, I actually thought that this was bound to happen. I was basically saying on the broadcast, you can't get comfortable. You got to keep your foot on the throat. And I was basically saying it on the broadcast. Newport Harbor went up 14-0 last year. CDM rattled off 28 straight points to win the game. And
well, they just rattled off 20, so it had to be a little bit of a nervous time, right?
Yeah, and I even put that in the write-up.
All right. We'll read that online. Okay. So more defense from CDM. Russell Weir's going to come off the edge. Get the sack. So right now they've got the lead. They're sacking. They're doing all the things they need to do. But like you said, Taryn, Harbor would fight back. My man, McJagger
Blaukamp.
The Dutchman from Australia is going to do a nice job from the offensive line. Gets up in there. So now Harbor's driving.
I'm glad Harbor won the other night because I don't know how mixed Spartans did yesterday against the Wolverines.
Oh, yeah.
A little rough.
Yeah, that was a beatdown. And then Cade Fiegel is going to run a route just like Stecker did. Same spot, same route, little seam.
By the way, I meant Jagger. I call him Mix because I'm so used to hearing you say that.
So 21-20, they take the lead. 1 point. Now it's a 1 point ball game, fourth quarter. So now it's nervous time. And now the stadium's
Look
rocking.
at that crowd.
You can feel the intensity.
Oh, it's crazy.
All right, so here we go. Last chance for Stadium. They got the ball, 3rd and long. They've got to have it. Their money man receiver, Russell Weir, is going to run a little drag. Caleb puts it right where it has to be. So now they're on the 45. They only need a field goal, and it's going to be, again, another 3rd down. Remember last year when Colton Joseph had to have that run, and it was him and Mason Kubicek? It came down to that. Well, something very similar, same situation. Now it's him and Muir.
Saw Kubicek at that game.
Was he there?
He's on the CDM sideline. So was Razor.
Did you talk to him?
I did not.
Okay. So Tanner makes the tackle, so it's 4th and 1. The ball game is on the line. CDM's going to run it with their quarterback, which is smart because you get the extra blocker, but I want you to watch the push by the D-line. By the way, this is why you lift weights in the offseason. This is why you hit the 5-man sled.
Get
this is why you
leverage.
condition. Let's see the movement. You see how they're getting a push. There's just too many defenders in the backfield. Caleb can't get up in there, and that was the difference.
And CDM had converted earlier before that.
Yeah, they get that, and they could quite possibly win the game. So I want to fast forward to the reaction of the crowd because this is, and by the way, if you're CDM, you can turn it off now. You're not going to.
Yeah.
And this was the
CDM
same thing last year,
doesn't
but it's
see that.
flipped.
Yeah.
Look at Terrence's got a big smile on his face. Better not be biased there, Terren. I know you went to Harbor.
Oh,
but just-
stop it, you.
Now watch the fans in about 2 seconds here. It's crazy. This is like those zombie movies when the gates get broken down and it's just a mass maelstrom of people.
Where's Brad Pitt?
Yeah, right.
World War Z.
I mean, look at that. And, your heart breaks for CDM because they got to sit there and walk through this. And, they're being good sportsmen. They're going out to shake hands, but you're beside yourself after a loss like this. And now you got to walk through all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
I've never seen a field storm in a high school game. I heard that happen, but I wanted to see a video of it. That's crazy.
Well, you just saw it.
I was on the field when it happened. I'm just kind of standing there going like, oh, okay, here they are.
So Tommy Tarr is one of the most loyal. Why is my battery running low?
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, let's do this quick. He's one of the most loyal. I actually interviewed him after the game. Let's see what he had to say.
Sunset Rewind here with the legendary Tommy Tarr. Tommy, it's been 10 years. Talk to me about this. What are you feeling right now?
10 years is an awful long time, but we finally get the bell back. It's finally home. We'll love it and keep it safe here.
It's one of the most beautiful trophies in all of sports. How good is this going to feel? Are you going to take it down to Blackie's next week?
Yes, I'm taking it to Blackie's next week.
Do you have a message for Harbor Nation?
Oh, the Goose. We're going to the Goose this weekend.
I will see you Sunday. We will be there. Congratulations. Enjoy this.
Probably one of the most diehard loyal Harbor fans there is. He comments on our show
Without
all
a
the
doubt,
time.
yeah. He's awesome. He's amazing.
I sat next to him after as the game was ending.
All right.
Just to kind of get his
See the look on his
perspective.
face?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had to sweat it out a little bit. And so, I'm sitting there seeing him from elation to, oh my gosh, CDM might pull this off.
Yeah.
And then they got the fourth down stop, and that was that. But what a game. What an atmosphere.
Phenomenal.
Both those teams played their butts off. And, that's why high school football is probably one of the best sports there is on the planet.
I've been to a lot of high school football games, and that lived up to all the hype. That was not overhyped at all. That was just as good as it was billed. It was better than last year's game. Like you said, the days leading up to it, we got the CDM perspective on Thursday night, having dinner with those folks, and then Friday night got to mingle and hang out with the Newport Harbor families.
It was a good time and a good event.
It was. And everybody's just so nice to us, and what a great community, man.
All right,
Incredible.
sticker time. For me, CDM, Caleb Annett had a great night statistically.
He did.
29 to 37, 298 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, he did all he could do.
I'm going to go with Dorset Sticker. Dorset had 9 catches, 102 yards. That's an 11.33 average per catch, and he had a touchdown. So great job, Dorset. Congratulations, man.
And then for Harbor, the quarterback, again, Jane O'Neill, 3 touchdowns, completed 18 to 33 passes, almost 200 yards. And, he made the plays when he had to. So nice job, Jaden.
I'm going to go with the dude, Josiah Lemarque.
It's that dance you like.
4 catches, 78 yards, 19.5 average per catch, had a touchdown. And more importantly, he is the heart and soul of that team. He just leads those guys. He wears it on his sleeve. He is, Mr. Newport Harbor. And for him to get his first career victory as a senior against the Sea Kings and break that 10-year streak, I'm just very stoked for the guy and happy for him. So congratulations, Josiah.
So we got the fan zone coming up. That will be shown on Monday.
Yeah.
Some big games next week. A real big one.
One for league, right, Julius?
You're playing for a title.
Yeah.
I can't think of a more coveted thing than a Sunset League championship because that's the Premier League. And it seems like Edison and Los Al have been on a collision course all year long, and it's kind of played out the way we
here
thought
it is.
it would.
Here we are. We're down to what is this? Week 11, episode 10, right, Taryn? Man,
It's actually week. Well, this week.
week
is,
10, episode 11, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, week 10.
Wow, it goes by fast. We're coming up to the end of the season.
Do you remember coming down from Seattle like not that long ago, and all of a sudden you're
Feels like last week.
Yeah,
right. I mean, I remember Battle of the
crazy.
Beach interviewing you guys.
I remember in the
just-
summer. Yeah,
You just blink and it goes by.
it does. That's life in
The
general.
good news
man.
is you're only a junior, so you got another year. But enjoy this year while you can because you guys are having a
Still
heck of
got
a
time.
season.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got Edison Los Al Forno playing for a Sunset League championship this week at Veterans Stadium in Long Beach. We'll talk about that more in the Fan Zone. Can't wait for that, though. But thanks for joining us today, Julius.
You're going to stick around for Fan Zone, right?
For sure.
Yeah. All right, a lot more back and forth on that one.
So that's going to do it for another week of Sunset Rewind. Please remember to subscribe on YouTube there. You can follow us on social media at Sunset_Rewind on X and at Sunset _Rewind on Twitter as well. Instagram. Twitter used to be X.
Dude, get it right. You're making me nervous.
And remember to go to sunsetrewind.com. Special thanks to Emma and Nick Burns, Taryn Rodriguez as usual, Murphy Carges, Cole Menzinger, who's in Italy still. Hope he's having a great time there. And Eric Ramos joined us this week covering the game, so thank you. Another great week in the books, Coach. Be sure to join us next week. Have a great week, everyone. Take care. God bless.